Hello and welcome to News Hour. I am David Patrick Kamara. Coming up in this edition of News Hour, state councils continue to lead witnesses in the ongoing commissions of inquiry. Executive Director of Maritime Administration discloses plans to construct Maritime Rescue and Search Coordination Center in Bond District. And President Bio attends 32nd Ordinary Session of the African Union in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. All these stories and more are lined up in this edition of News Hour. Welcome back and thanks for joining us for our first story. Real-time audit report tendered at the ongoing commissions of inquiry shows billions of withdrawals from the Health Emergency Response account without supporting document. This is part of evidence by Commission Witness 3, representing the Auditor General Ea Bondo Tubawa, who has taken the witness box for the second time. Princess Gibson was at the Commission 64, presided over by Justice Bilbeli, George Will.
Real audit report conducted on the Ebola Management Fund in May to October 2014. The report contains withdrawal of over 15 billion loans from the Health Emergency Response account, with supporting documents for 4 billion loans for the first withdrawal and over 11 billion loans not properly accounted for during the audit exercise. The Commission Witness 3 explained payment with supporting and non-supporting documents.
Payment without supporting documents means that from initiation of the transaction to completion, no supporting documents were made available. And to go further, it could mean, what could mean? I'm talking about the payment without adequate support.
Okay, it could also mean...
It could mean that payment vouchers were prepared,
yes,
but receipts and delivery notes were not made available for inspection. You should be given receipt. The receipt will confirm that indeed you have procured a particular item. Will confirm that the goods have been delivered.
Other withdrawals and contracts were made in respect of purchase of chlorine powder, overall electricals, construction services at the Laka Government Hospital and Kerry Town Hospital without following requirement procedure and no submission of procurement records. Prosecution Witness 4, Commissioner Ibrahim Sori Kamara of the National Revenue Authority, NRA, tendered breakdown of supplies of Ebola contracts for which taxes were not withheld by the contractee, and an Excel sheet containing withholding taxes not deducted, while others show amounts paid by some contractors. Meanwhile, counsel for one of the interested persons, Adi Macaulay, has challenged the jurisdiction of the commissions of inquiry. He represents Alfred Paulo Conte, who is a party to an action to determine the jurisdiction in the Supreme Court. His objection, according to Commissioner George Will, has no leg to stand, as the authority of the Commission has been confirmed by Parliament in the constitutional instruments. Commission 64 has been adjourned to Tuesday, 12th February. Princess Gibson, SLBC News.
The 32nd Ordinary Session of the Assembly of the African Union has started in the Ethiopian capital Addis Ababa with the theme Refugees, Returnees and Internally Displaced Persons Towards Durable Solutions to Forced Displacement in Africa. Before the opening ceremony, President Julius Maada Bio joined other heads of state to unveil the statue of former Emperor of Ethiopia, Haile Selassie, who was key pioneer for the founding of the African Union. During the opening ceremony, different world leaders, including Bill Gates, President of FIFA and Director General of the World Health Organization, made meaningful statements on their interest to invest in human capital in the continent. After the official opening ceremony, President Julius Maada Bio updated members of the C10 committee about recent recommendations adopted during a meeting in Sierra Leone. The executive director of the Maritime Administration, Ken Philip Sondai, has disclosed plans to construct Maritime Rescue and Search Coordination Center in Bond District. He made this disclosure during a familiarization tour of Yagoy, Imperial Chiefdoms and Bond Town Wharves. This was to acquaint himself with operations and challenges of the maritime sector in that part of the country. The construction of the Maritime Rescue and Search Center is part of safety measures to prevent sea accidents. Doreen Barry reports. CSE workers at Hill Station Bypass Road construction site have embarked on a sit-down strike over what they claim to be poor conditions of service. The strike action, which occurred this morning, saw over 100 workers blocked the bypass route and put the operations on a standstill. Most of the workers on the strike are low-cadre workers. San Mataba reports.
This is how the situation was at Hillside Bypass Road, as these workers are not happy with their conditions of service, including their salaries, medical and end-of-service benefits. This is phase 2 of the 25-kilometer road works from Duazak to Black Road. The Kuwaiti government and the government of Sierra Leone funded this road project, which started in 2010. The second phase is at 47% and 57 work still remains. The road is among the many road projects by the CSC company in Sierra Leone. Workers who have worked for the company for more than 20 years complain of ill treatment by the company's management, which includes non-permanent job, poor salaries, no leave allowance, no medical allowance, and protective gears. Police at the Kisii division stormed the site and cautioned the workers to strike peacefully without any violence. One of the workers, Sapesima, told us that most of his colleagues have worked for many years in the company under poor condition. He said the phase 2 of the Hillside Bypass Road is near completion and they are concerned about their end-of-service benefits. Mr. Pesima said many of their workmates have lost their lives in active service without compensated by the company.
So how Sierra Leone poverty go down at this country? How corruption go down at this country when you know they get fine salary?
We are not happy with the CSC management. We are suffering. They are not treating us well. We want to know about our end-of-service benefit. These people are exploiting us.
We don't talk to the management, not to one, not to two, not to three. Let them give me motor car for the go at and come back. Some of who will go at if now open body themselves for the go bill and day. So they have money they get to go manager.
Some drivers said they have not been supplied with protective gears and most often they are involved in accidents or suffer alerts. They claim that medical allowances are not paid in time. Some workers with different conditions call for medical help. The workers say they pay 15,000 yuans monthly as contributions to the Labour Congress that is not seeking their interest. Mohammed Shaw is a project manager of the Hillside Bypass Road project under the CSC company. He said the strike action is unfortunate, which has affected their operations. He said it is a surprise to the company to get some of these issues from the staff, as they have never been made formal to the company for prompt action.
Most of the complaints that we receive from our staff are normally on the individual basis, and we listen to them on the individual basis, and we try to solve their matters on the individual basis as far as the company can do and the best we can do. In terms of benefits, as the question you asked, that we pay the NACIT. CSC normally contribute double to whatever they pay, which is normally they pay 5% of their wage, and CSC pay double of that, which is the NACIT portion of their benefit, which is allocated for them.
He refuted that all the workers are permanent staff and that benefits are paid yearly to all. Mr. So said they are paid NACIT for the workers and that the recent 10% increase by government has not been sent to them as a company for action. He said they contracted the Iranian hospital at Lomé to provide medical service for staff. He, however, appealed to the staff for dialogue to discuss the issues affecting their welfare.
The solution to go forward is to sit with most of the drivers who are complaining, and even other various people who are working for us. As long as they have a personal matter that is related to the job and that is related to their benefits, we are willing to listen. We are willing to make necessary amendment if we did not receive any of this letter. If there is a letter, we plead that the entity that are in charge of informing companies that there is a pay raise, please send us to at our office at Kisi official letter to say that there is a pay increase that is effective by the date that it was signed by the government of Sierra Leone. Therefore, we can apply it to our staff.
Public Relations Officer, Ministry of Labour and Social Security, Lansana Bayon, said the ministry is concerned about the amount of labour malpractices in the company and that the minister has summoned the Labour Commissioner, the Labour Congress, the Sierra Rules Authority, the concerned staff and CSC to an emergency meeting to look into the issues. SLBC, Salma Taban reporting.
A cross-section of executive members of the Commercial Agriculture Producers Processors Association has paid a courtesy call on the Deputy Minister of Agriculture and the Executive Director of the Environment Protection Agency. The courtesy call was to inform the Ministry of Agriculture and the EPA about their challenges as agricultural investors in the country. Daphne Kemamakoli reports.
Private sector development is important in the development of the economy of any country. Private investment in any country provide employment for citizens and improve their livelihood. These private investors complain that land acquisition require important export and major problems in the sector. Chairman of the Commercial Agriculture Association
Declaration of rights for the paramount chieftaincy in the Banti Chiefdom has been held at Pilap, the headquarter town of the chiefdom. The event was done in the presence of traditional authorities and regional administrative heads. Hassan Fore Kamara was there and now reports.
Altogether, 7 contenders faced the provincial administrative team, the National Electoral Commission (NEC), and Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development representatives, and 2 accessor chiefs to declare their intentions to run for chieftaincy in the Banchi Chiefdom. The 7 were from the 4 ruling houses, Saulea, Pailap, Mabanta, and Buya. As prescribed by law, one after the other, they all took the platform and submitted all they said to be proof and legitimate reasons to contest. This was followed by a question and answer from accessor chiefs PC Kasanga II from Mobali District and PC Alhaji Sheku Finamara from Falaba District. Unlike a few other declarations of rights have witnessed, this didn't have much disapproval from the traditional authorities. It unfolded smoothly and arose in. Later, the senior district officer Bombali Abubakar Kamara traced the local tax history of the contenders and inspected the most recent receipts. Earlier, the Commissioner North NEC, Maksud Jibril Sise said NEC is playing leading role in the chieftaincy elections across the country, and collaboration with the local government, they are cautiously putting everything that is required in place. He said, as always, NEC will conduct the election in a fair, free and correct manner. After several consideration and assessment on the submission of contenders, Sorikagbo from the Buya ruling house was disqualified on the grounds that he is from the mother side, and the entitlement of chieftaincy in the north is claimed from the father side. The Provincial Secretary North, Alfred Lahai, in his concluding statement, encouraged potential candidates to go on and campaign peacefully. He warned strongly that anyone that is found propagating inciting messages will be disqualified. Who among the 6 will be crowned paramount chief of the Banti Chiefdom will definitely be determined by the 1,016 traditional authorities on the 24th of this month. For SLBC News, Hassan Fore Kamara in Makeni.
Now back to the commissions of inquiry. Mariam Asuma was at Commission 65, where Justice Bankole Thompson, in his statement, said the roadmap of the mandate of the commissions of inquiries is to give the procedural guidelines to protect the integrity of the process.
Commissioner of Commission 65 of the Commissions of Inquiry, Justice Bankole Thompson, in his statement, said the roadmap of the mandate of discharge of the Commission of Inquiry is to give the procedural guidelines to protect the integrity of the process of the Commissions of Inquiry. He said all witnesses should be informed that the official language of the Commission is English and that if any witness demands the presence of an interpreter, they should be given that opportunity. Justice Bankole Thompson informed the Commission that the exercise is not designed to be, as they say in law, fishing expedition. He therefore expects the Examiner-in-Chief to proceed with the necessary adoption and modification. He added, by virtue of Article 6.5 of the Practice Directions, judicial interventions are permissible. Hence, it is proper for the presiding judge commissioner to intervene from time to time during the presentation of the evidence. In his submission,
to ensure the effective and efficient functioning of the Commission in the discharge of its mandate, and to preserve the integrity of the process, public inquiry. Let me now set out with much particularity the key elements and features of the procedural paradigm we will be adopting for the discharge of the Commission's mandate. Prior to testifying, witness or person of interest should be informed that the official language of the Commission is English. Having been so informed, he or she should be asked whether he or she needs an interpreter and in which language.
Counsel representing persons of interest, lawyer Lansana Doumbouya, made an application on behalf of his witnesses that their absence in the commission was due to the late invitation given to them by the State Council. He added that his witnesses want to assist the commission in its proceedings, but that things should be done the right way. He continued that the time at which his witnesses were served, there was no time for them to go through the document or even for him as counsel to cross-examine them. He went on that Section 6.1 of the Constitutional Instrument of Number 65 of 2018, which created the Commission, was made in excess upon the power conferred on Parliament or any other authority or persons by law or under the 1991 Constitution. He applied for the Commission to stay its proceedings.
A submission that Section 6.1 of Instrument Number 65, which creates this Commission, Section 6.1 of Constitutional 65 of 2018, was made, my lord, that this section, my lord, was made
(50/50) in collaboration with Academic and Career Advisory Counseling Services, has held its third edition of TV series titled Technological Breakthrough, Innovation as the Gateway to a Brighter Future. The session, which brought together pupils from secondary schools and university students, was to inspire them to technological innovation. The session was held at the 50/50 Group Headquarters, Tower Hill in Freetown. Joseph Ture reports.
Technological innovation is a contemporary trend in achieving development globally. It also gives opportunity to many with unique skills and ideas to contribute to solve global problems. Africa, like any other continent, needs to catch up with the latest development. Founder and director Sensi Tech Innovation Hub, Maurice Mara, said there is a need to invest in young people, especially in the tech innovation, which he noted can bring drastic development in the country. He noted tech innovation is meant for solving problems, especially for business, and every sector in the society should be involved. Director Fix It Solution, Salwa Campbell, said one of the greatest challenges Sierra Leone faces is that some of the courses offered in some universities are not commensurate with the markets in the corporate world. She noted Sierra Leone has the material resources, but most have been shying away from ICT programs. She urged the participants present to use their phones wisely and search for positive things on the internet rather than wasting time on unprofitable social media. Madam Campbell added women and girls in particular should embrace tech innovation, take risks, and should not be afraid when fail to get it right. Participants also expressed appreciation of the session and promised to put into practice what they had learned.
It gives you an international exposure, which simply means you can be able to offer with international and national issues, which you can use to tackle and solve your own problem.
You should also learn to think with science, get used to technology. It doesn't matter if you're from the sciences, the arts, or the commercial. All you need to do, be an entrepreneur for yourself.
Continuous sessions are scheduled to build the capacity, especially for girls and women. SLBC News, Joseph Toure, Freetown.
The Government Technical Institute has held its matriculation ceremony for the 2018-2019 academic year. Over 400 students have enrolled to study different courses at the institute. The ceremony took place at the premises of the Institute Kisi Dockyard, Freetown. Aruna Patrick Kamara reports.
Since the establishment of the Institute in February 1964 as Government Trade Center and later transformed to Government Technical Institute, this is the first time the Institute is hosting a matriculation ceremony for new students at certificate, diploma, and higher national diploma in engineering and commercial management levels. The Registrar, Government Technical Institute, Albert Bernard, commended the acting principal for transforming the institute within a short period. He said the matriculation ceremony confirms full membership of students. Mr. Bernard said students have the right to enjoy certain facilities of the institute, but they are duty-bound to observe all the rules and regulations of the institute and respect all those in authority. The principal, Freetown Teachers College, Dr. Samba Moriba, said GTI is an engine to ensure young people have the opportunity to gain skill to meet the changing needs of the country. Dr. Moriba said very soon the Government Technical Institute and the Freetown Teachers College will become one, as the FTC and GTI will this year become the Freetown Polytechnic. The acting principal, Government Technical Institute, Engineer Edward Boyman Lamin, described the occasion as historic as they witnessed the new beginning in the promotion of technical education in the country.
So that is what my administration is. Feel free to enter into my office at any time. We check once it's development of this institution. You respect my administration, my staff are my priority. Because if they are not here, you get no knowledge. And whenever you get knowledge from somebody, you have to respect that person, no matter how small he is. We want you people at certificate year level, when you graduate, at least you must be able to construct, lay a foundation for a 3-bedroom building. In fact, that's what you graduates here. And very close. I'm not talking about the old ones. I was not here. We'll try to see what we do for them. But you, if you graduate, we'll do a practical test. A practical test. If you don't pass, no good certificate.
He said come next academic year, students will have access to government granting aid. Aruna Patrick Kamara, News Hour.
The 56th annual Jalsa Salana Muslim mission has ended in Bo City, attended by thousands of Muslim worshippers and non-Muslims around the world. The conference, which lasted for 3 days, emphasized the need for peace, unity, and tolerance across the country. Ibrahim Samura was there and now reports.
Every year, the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission converge for the spiritual and moral education on the Muslim religion and on the Ahmadi teachings and doctrine. In this year's Jalsa Salana, thousands of worshippers, including non-Muslims, graced the occasion. Ahmadi Muslims are drawn from 5 African countries, including Canada, the United Kingdom, the United States of America, Germany, among others. During this year's event, lectures and teachings of the Caliphate and Imam Mahdi and social media were delivered by various Islamic scholars. Peace, unity, love, and putting humanity first were the key messages by various speakers. According to the Amir and missionary in charge Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission, Saeed Rahman, the conference is a religious congregation for the spiritual and moral education of Muslims. He said the conference is also to promote Islam and religious tolerance. Government ministers Professor Alpha Wuri, Alhaji Muhammad Haji Kela, and Dr. Edward Sandin lauded the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission for hosting the conference, noting that it will help to foster peace, unity, and cohesion among the Muslim community in the country. They said the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission has contributed immensely to the nation's development, especially in the areas of education, health, and sanitation, among others. The ministers noted that the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him, was a defender of human rights, calling on all Muslims to follow the teachings of the Holy Prophet by serving as ambassadors for human rights. They underscored the importance of education and frowned at early marriage and teenage pregnancies. Attendees of the conference described this year's Jalsa Salana as unique. The intervention of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission in Sierra Leone spanned over 9 decades.
The Diamond Challenge for the Achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals has organized a competition for young innovators in senior secondary schools in the country at the Hotel Kabenda in Freetown. The Diamond Challenge has been observing pupil innovators bringing in ideas to solve problems in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. Easy Access ebook team won the competition. Daphne Kimamakoli reports.
Innovation, many people say, has turned people into big-time entrepreneurs and also contributed in changing lives of many people through capacity building and job creation. More than 5 years ago, Sierra Leone saw a unique innovation by a 16-year-old Kelvin Doe who created a radio frequency modulation. After the spark of this boy, the country has seen other young innovators who have innovated other preferred solutions for solving problems in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. The Diamond Challenge was established in 2012 by the University of Delaware Horn to improve and also market ideas of especially young innovators. It is an international platform that trains and gives young innovators the opportunity to benefit from their God-given talents. In Sierra Leone, the Diamond Challenge organized a competition for 10 teams of innovators to showcase what they can do to the international community. Easy Access ebook innovation won $300 and would be traveling to the University of Delaware Horn Entrepreneurship in the United States to represent the country and to further present their idea for expansion and sustainability. Their presentation was based on electronic learning, which is accessing the internet to study core subjects.
The idea of like textbooks, online textbooks, like putting them into one platform, while also young students can access them through using a login format. And when you log in, you have this thing which we call, we have this button which we have as a download for me button. So you put your stream, you put your class, and you download for me. And all the textbooks which you're going to use in that class for this year will be downloaded for you automatically.
National Coordinator Diamond Challenge, Ambassador Abdul Kaloko, said this is the first Sierra Leone National Senior Secondary School Entrepreneurship Competition.
The Diamond Challenge is a competition that seeks to identify potential young entrepreneurs on high school level, train them and provide them with the relevant skills to shape up their ideas and turn these ideas to successful businesses. The Diamond Challenge has been a unique opportunity for young people, and over the years we've been seeing teams from different schools put together, develop their ideas, and now they're making thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars as the result of their participation through the Diamond Challenge project.
He added that before the competition, they had held weekly sessions to guide the young entrepreneurs on how to package their ideas. For SLBC News, Daphne Kimamakoli reporting.
The mental health unit of the Maburuka Government Hospital has said that there has been a steady progress in combating mental difficulties in the district despite the challenges involved. Abdul Karim Kanu visited the unit and now reports.
According to the head of the mental health unit of the Maburuka Government Hospital, Aisatu Cham, the majority of people reporting to the unit with mental difficulties are young people who are addicted to taking drugs such as tramadol, cannabis sativa, and other dangerous drugs. She said they receive cases from across the district and has secured the health of a number of people, whilst those who present very difficult conditions are referred to Freetown for advanced medical attention. Madam Aisatu Cham noted that the lack of support to the mental health unit of the hospital is making work very difficult for them, especially in the area of undertaking effective sensitization on the dangers of misusing drugs. Tonkolili district, just like many other places of the country, has quite a reasonable number of people disturbed by mental health complications.
Now we go back to the ongoing commissions of inquiry, where the SLBC's Mariam Asuma was at Commission 65, where Justice Bankole Thompson, in his statement, said the roadmap of the mandate of the commissions of inquiry is to give procedural guidelines to protect the integrity of the process.
Commissioner of Commission 65 of the Commissions of Inquiry, Justice Bankole Thompson, in his statement, said the roadmap of the mandate of discharge of the Commission of Inquiry is to give the procedural guidelines to protect the integrity of the process of the Commissions of Inquiry. He said all witnesses should be informed that the official language of the Commission is English, and that if any witness demands the presence of an interpreter, they should be given that opportunity. Justice Bankole Thompson informed the Commission that the exercise is not designed to be, as they say in law, fishing expedition. He therefore expects the Examiner-in-Chief to proceed with the necessary adoption and modification. He added, by virtue of Article 6.5 of the Practice Directions, judicial interventions are permissible, hence it is proper for the presiding judge commissioner to intervene from time to time during the presentation of the evidence. In his submission,
to ensure the effective and efficient functioning of the Commission in the discharge of its mandate, and to preserve the integrity of the process, public inquiry. Let me now set out with much particularity the key elements and features of the procedural paradigm we will be adopting for the discharge of the Commission's mandate. Prior to testifying, witness or person of interest should be informed that the official language of the Commission is English. Having been so informed, he or she should be asked whether he or she needs an interpreter and in which language.
Counsel representing persons of interest, lawyer Lansana Dumbuya, made an application on behalf of his witnesses that their absence in the commission was due to the late invitation given to them by the State Council. He added that his witnesses want to assist the commission in its proceedings, but that things should be done the right way. He continued that the time at which his witnesses were served, there was no time for them to go through the document or even for him as counsel to cross-examine them. He went on that Section 6.1 of the Constitutional Instrument of Number 65 of 2018, which created the Commission, was made in excess upon the power conferred on Parliament or any other authority or persons by law or under the 1991 Constitution. He applied for the Commission to stay its proceedings.
Submission that Section 6.1, Section 6.1 of Instrument number 65, which creates this commission, Section 6.1 of Constitutional 65 of 2018, was made, my lord, that this section, my lord, was made in excess of the power conferred upon Parliament. Made in excess of the power.
Responding, lead counsel representing the state, Robert Kowa, said on the 4th of February 2019, counsel for the state did tender before the commission a list of interested persons. Subsequently, that list was tendered as Exhibit D1 to 13, and also letters of appointment of those names in list were tendered as Exhibits E1 to 8, and that indicates it is no hidden secret. He added after those exhibits were tendered, a publication was made indicating that those names on the list should endeavor to assist the commission with their addresses of service, but few of them responded, as it was not an easy task to reach the others who were served on Saturday the 9th of February 2019. However, lead counsel did not agree with the application made by his colleague counsel representing the persons of interest.
Counsel for the state did tender before this court a list of interested persons. That was when sittings of this commission resumed on the 4th of February. Went to that, the tendering of that list, my lord. A publication was made indicative that those whose names are on that should endeavor to see this commission with their address of service. I was informed and verily believed by the administration that very few responded. On the second limb of the application, my lord, which deals of stay, I must be very quick to that section 124, 1B, and 2, cited by my learned colleague cannot be applied in the instant case.
As the proceedings continued in Commission 65, presided over by Justice Bankole Thompson, two witnesses appeared before Justice Bankole Thompson of Commission 65. Asset Declaration Officer from the Anti-Corruption Commission, Fatu Florence Camara, did tender a list of assets declaration documents for the former Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Food Security, Dr. Sam Sise, for the year 2008 to 2011, and the same document was tendered for Professor Monty Jones for the year 2015 to 2017. Second witness, Deputy Accountant General from the Auditors General's Department, Raymond Coker, also tendered a document of salaries of the former presidents, vice presidents, ministers, and deputy ministers, and also data of subvention to government-subvented institutions. Meanwhile, State Council has appealed to the Commission to adjourn the Commission to Thursday, the 13th of February 2019, so that the persons of interest will be able to go through the invitation. The application was granted by Justice Bankole Thompson, and the Commission was adjourned to the 14th February 2019.
The West African Methodist Church Sierra Leone has held its 85th annual assembly on the theme Touching People, Changing Lives. The gathering attracted members from across the country to seek ways of promoting the kingdom of God through outreach. The General Superintendent, West African Methodist Church Sierra Leone, Reverend Donald Williams, said the church has the role to touch the holistic lives of man on planet Earth. The session was held at the Bethel WAM Church, Circular Road, Freetown. Joseph Ture reports.
The West African Methodist Church Sierra Leone has from entirely local resources established 19 churches and 3 preaching places in Freetown and surrounding rural areas and in Moyamba. The church has also contributed to the development of many, not limited to spiritual well-being. This session, which will be followed by other spiritual and social activities, was a moment of appreciation, reflection and planning for this year's theme. The General Superintendent, West African Methodist Church, Sierra Leone, Reverend Donald Williams, noted because of many vices in society today, the church needs to rise up and win many souls for Christ. He said love, strength and harmony are key ingredients the church needs in touching and transforming people's lives.
We must have a passion and overwhelming desire to see persons come to the saving knowledge of the Lord Jesus Christ. Friends, in this month I challenge you. In this quarter I challenge you. In this year I challenge you to be solution agents. In this month, in this quarter, in this year, I am challenging you to be solution agents.
The General Superintendent called on them to be solution agents of the society. The Connectional Secretary, West African Methodist Church, Sierra Leone, Reverend Solomon Campbell, disclosed some of the plans the mission has for the forthcoming month.
There have been a proliferation of churches all around, and because we are doing the numerical statistics of the church every year, so we will have the movement up and down. For 1 year, the movement of the statistics will move up. For another year, it will move down, and this is the kind of way the things are going. But we are moving now to the hinterlands, where we have not been before. And we believe that because we are moving to the hinterlands, we will make more impact.
Amidst successes in spreading the gospel, the church needs to do more for the establishment of the kingdom of God. SLBC News, Joseph Ture, Freetown.
Well, it's now time for a roundup of African news. Reports from Cameroon says at least 4 people were burnt alive in the hospital in the restive southwest of the country. The hospital in the town of Kumba was serving a large area because several other health facilities in the same district had shut down due to separatist rebellion. The rebellion began after protests calling for better treatment of the Anglophone minority were violently broken up by the security forces in 2016. A UN judicial expert says the Nigerian president broke international rules when he recently suspended the country's Chief Justice. President Muhammadu Buhari suspended Walter Onnoghen when last month over allegations that the judge had failed to declare his asset. The UN Special Rapporteur on Independence of Judges and Lawyers, Diego Garcia Sayan, said such a decision should be taken by an independent judicial council or a court. The government of Zimbabwe has confirmed that its Vice President, Constantino Chiwenga, is receiving medical treatment abroad. This comes days after he dismissed reports of being airlifted to South Africa. Deputy Information Minister of NIG, Mutundi, said on social media that Mr. Chiwenga was recovering well from a minor abdominal ailment in the Indian capital, Delhi. But that's all in the roundup of African news. Now we move over to our entertainment news. Sunita Alabi is a young female musician who believes that with music she can teach about her motherland, Sierra Leone. She started music years back and has an album to her credit. Recently, she released a single titled Smile Salon, a song that explains the tragedy the country has faced, especially during the mudslide, Ebola outbreak, and the misuse of the country's natural wealth. Our entertainment producer, Mohamed Kimilan Bangura, engaged her in this interview and compiled this report, read by Millicent Lunge.
History tells us that Sierra Leone was founded in 1462 by Pedro de Centro, a Portuguese sailor. Since then, the country is said to be blessed with natural resources that can benefit the nation and its people. But the country is still lagging behind in terms of development. Different people came up with speeches in order to salvage the backwardness in the country. One such person is Sunita Alabi, a young musician who believes that with music, she can teach others about her motherland. She attended the St. Michael's Primary School at Kisii and the St. Helena Secondary School, where she wrote her Beke, and proceeded to Ahmadiyya Muslim Secondary School. She went to the Jalal University, where she read economics, but didn't finish because of personal reasons. Now she is fully into entertainment. In her childhood days, she was inspired by a popular Jamaican dancehall singer, Lady Soul.
Anytime we give them the rhyme, no money, that motto is mine. I'll walk this boy, tiny pop down line. You're a loser, you're simply wasting the time, yo.
I love her because she's doing good things that I always wanted to do.
She came into the music industry in order to sensitize the public on women's empowerment. She was featured in one of DJ Rank's album, Kolonko Party. She said her style of songs are more Caribbean, dancehall, reggae, lovers rock, and soca. In 2006, she released her first album titled Last Wednesday, and since then she has not released any album, but singles, including her recent single titled Smile Salon, where she featured Mr. One. This song talks about the tragedy the country has faced, especially during the mudslide and Ebola outbreak, and the misuse of the country's natural wealth.
But she tell me, say she tired with the tribalism and the liars. She give them gold, give them diamond, give them fishes and beaches. All she got is an abuse in return, but I say,
well, Smile Salon, you know, King Milan, it's been a while with Sierra Leone. Mama Salon has been grieving, crying, because from the war we come to Ebola, mudslide, you know, and we have a successful election. So I thought it fit that we should be smiling now. Sierra Leone should be smiling.
She said female musicians in the country are faced with challenges, especially when competing with male musicians. She called on her female colleagues to be independent, focused, and believe in what they do. Sunita is also an active member of the Sierra Leone Female Musician Union. She said the union is planning bigger things this 2019 and called on the government to come to the aid of the entertainment industry as they did for sports. Entertainment, she said, needs attention in order to be able to compete with other countries around the world.
I'm here for you, Mama Salon, so dry your eyes, Mom, smile. Smile for me, Mama Salon, Lord.
Push it, Mama. Many thanks indeed to Mohamed Kimilan Bangura for the entertainment news. Well, we'll now move over to sport and join Francis Bernard.
Well, for sports this evening, two late goals from Saliu Tarawali in the 83rd minute and another 6 minutes later from Abu Kome sealed a deserving victory for the Kalon boys. Mighty Blackpool started the match on a good footing but could not withstand the young boys of Kalon FC. Here is the story. I wonder what went wrong with the T-Stars boys as they were defeated by 2-0. Where that was just an highlight of the match that's played at the Sheikh Stephen Stadium on Sunday. Now we bring you the table of the Sierra Leone Premier League. As Central Parade are currently on top of the league table with 7 points, with just goal difference between Central Parade and FC Kalon, followed by FC Kalon with 7 points after playing 3 matches, and Eastern Lions in third place with 7 points. Now, bottom 3, you have Mighty Blackpool, you have Bo Rangers and Arslav occupying the right bottom of the Sierra Leone Premier League. Well, in Kono as well, defending champion Diamond Stars, they played to a goalless draw against Freetown City Council Football Club. Well, that's it for sports updates. Back to you, David.
Thank you very much, Frances Bernard, for the latest in sport, and congratulations to FC Kalon for that thrilling victory over the T-Stars boys. To end the news, the main points again: State Council have continued to lead witnesses in the ongoing commissions of inquiry. Executive Director of Maritime Administration has disclosed plans to construct Maritime Rescue and Search Coordination Center in Bond District. And President Bio has attended the 32nd Ordinary Session of the African Union in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. And that's all in this edition of News Hour Broadcast Live on the SLBC. My name is David Patrick Kamara. Good night.